We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Commanders. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts, as this one is underway on EA Sports. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here, right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. Now, this defense for the Commanders, it's terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number qualified, but I believe him.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. You talk about this Washington defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago. I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. They push him back 8 yards that time. 2nd down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
This is taken at the 15. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Tua now on first down. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Williams to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. Really good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch.
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
This now a 3rd and 4. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Trying to find Jamison Williams, but it'll be 2nd down. You talk about this Washington defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
Shove on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Hooker to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Hooker. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
They'll go for a gain of 7. 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Third down, Hooker looks to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this won't do it. He needed 6, he only got halfway there. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Patterson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he returns this to the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
At the 29-yard line.
2nd down and 4. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind out the first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Meanwhile, Tua's thrown into the hands of McLaurin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more.
There he is into the end zone for the Washington touchdown. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Now Tua on the bootleg here. He targets Ingram from under grab. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Gets this out quickly to Dotson. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 39-yard line.
Go ahead.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
On play action, here's Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nifty footwork at the 45. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, Hooker. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. A beautiful fake. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this one too low.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Working with the lead Washington trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. Here's Hooker. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Hooker now off play action. Going up top. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
Hooker to the air yet again. That pass caught. It's Williams. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 32-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. Patterson's kick is good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change.
There he goes left side. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because they don't get some kind of points here. That next drive, that could make this a free possession game.
They go play action. Here's Hooker. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let it go. And it's going to be a third down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Hooker's going to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here comes the Lions punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Take it at the 37. So a tug on the face mask, and that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And sometimes it'll go unnoticed, but that one, pretty obvious for everyone to see.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will stay a 2-score game at 16.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
On 1st down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd down and 6 now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now Hooker. He's got his target. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. They went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Third down, Hooker looks to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 145 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but third and short, Definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Complete, it's Dodson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Tua sets up to pass it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Tua. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And this has no chance. It's no good. Well wide to the left, and the lead will hold at 13. So you wonder what's going on in that head right about now. That's 2 missed field goals for him now, and this one should have been no problem.
For an NFL kicker, you're thinking 97, 98% from this distance, and this one somehow fails to go through. And that's 3 points you just absolutely have to count on getting.
They begin this drive with Chubb. Gets around him, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
First down, Lions.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Hooker to throw on 1st and 10. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers. Make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Hooker going to try and throw for it. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Second and 10. Throwing. Hooker. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On the end around, here comes Williams. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
2nd and 10, Hooker back to the air. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with just an incompletion.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. Just making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
All play action. Here's Hooker. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. Hooker. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? Advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning?
Yeah, I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger.
and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's pulled in at the 32. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. This is 1st and 10. Here's Hooker. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Throwing here is Hooker. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, they're not going to go quietly. That's a big play right there. 2 scores down. They're not out of this, but they've got to move.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Garrett Williams. There he goes, right side. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Hooker. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
But just over a minute to go in the football game. 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Hooker to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. And they will take a knee here. So a victory here for the Commanders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Washington, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.